Left of the box. I went to the States not too long ago, to Boston, drove there, and I didn't get to interact with too many people. But now I'm actually worried about going into a lot of the areas of the States because on my driver's license, my gender is X because I'm non-binary.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, definitely. A cop is going to give you a hard time. I can't. I'm trying to think like where could you go and they might not, but I'm like maybe like Seattle, like maybe
Mhm.
Portland, but like,
Yeah,
but
because
probably those cops too.
my license, my passport, I got them uh, changed, like my
Mhm,
my birth certificate even. It's
mhm,
all I'm non-binary and all of my government paperwork now reflects that. And like hearing the story down in Florida of no longer people being allowed to change they have to have the gender assigned at birth on their driver's license.
mhm.
And all the horrors that brings with that. And it's like, so if people are traveling from outside of the state and they need to show ID, where does that fall? But then just the risks and the chances, and you don't, because one of the things that I find terribly confusing about the states and from the stories I've heard is like each state is its own country.
In a lot of
Because
ways, yeah,
in Canada, criminal law is federal.
right.
So a crime is a crime is a crime across the country. There's not too much differences, but in the states, like you can get arrested for something that just over across the other in the other state is totally fine.
Well,
And so how
let
do you know all of the different laws for every state that you're going to go through? And some of them, by being a queer person, I could get in a lot of trouble for just existing.
let me tell you this. Somebody told you every state, but they lied. It's every county.
Hmm.
It is damn near every city. Because for sure, like every county is going to have different laws. My grandparents in Alabama, they lived in a dry county. They did not sell alcohol throughout the whole county. And the next county over did. So there, it's not illegal to have alcohol, but it's illegal to sell it
Mhm.
for a store and obviously a person. But no, it's definitely every county is going to have different laws, 100%. And sometimes, like even in California, like California, even Southern California, there are areas where it's going to be way more like liberal than other areas, and they're not that far from each other. It's
Mhm.
like 30 minutes. You're going to be fine with the X on your ID over here. Over there, you're not. And it's like 30 minutes away.
Mhm. Yeah. It just because I've heard things like different stickers on your bumper, like even just something as possessing in some areas or a sex toy in some areas could get you in a lot of trouble depending on where you are. Like,
Possibly.
yeah. And or and I just how are you supposed to know if you're just traveling through a lot of these areas? Because you can only claim Canadian for so much stuff.
I feel like if you say you're Canadian, like I feel like a cop might be like, okay, like, all right, but
Well, if I
you
if
know,
I start speaking French, then maybe I can get away with it a little bit more.
you know what? That's what Angela Davis used to do. That got her through like the racism in Alabama, speaking French to people. But
Mhm.
yeah, if you start speaking French, you'll probably do a lot better. But honestly, we have like super asshole cops, and it might not matter, just depending on the day the cop is having.